What is up, Aquarius? Welcome to your general timeless reading. My name is Jordyn. If you're new here, welcome. I am a Master Reiki practitioner and I'm also a tarot reader. So if you want a personal reading or a Reiki session, you can book it down below through my website in the description box. I do have 20% off all my services going on now through December 5th. So go ahead and take advantage of that. Check out my Patreon channel. I have decided to keep the monthly readings. I've just shift around some content on my Patreon channel to add some content for you guys because I'm going to be adding some content to YouTube as well. So like, share, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel grow and I greatly appreciate it. I also opened up some Saturdays in my calendar for weekend bookings for those of you who wanted live readings and Reiki sessions on the weekends. But let's get into it, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on. Let's use the Witch's Tarot. Which is strange because I usually always want to use like Rider Waite with you, but I guess Witch's Tarot. Show me what I most need to see for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Keep in mind these are general, timeless readings, so take what resonates, leave the rest. They may not resonate for everybody, but that's okay. It's okay. Show me what I most need to see for Aquarius. I just heard seriousness. You mean business. You got the Wheel of Fortune, so change. This actually feels like a shifting, a reorganizing of things. I literally just heard I need structure. I need structure. This feels like I need you to leave me alone right now because I need structure and I can't have you messing with the things that I just cleaned up. I just organized my panty drawer and my sock drawer, so please don't go folding any laundry because I need it folded a certain way. So don't touch that stuff, thanks. It's kind of like that. Could be something as small as that. It could be something as big as a relationship or a business or a home, right? So, or your finances. Crazy. I literally heard Death Plan and then Death came out. That's funny. I was like, I don't want to say that because they're kind of reminding me of, what are those movies that there's like a day where people go around and they're just like killing everybody. I've never actually watched that movie because I'm just like not into this stuff like that. But there's like 24 hours where they just go on a rampage and I was like, I don't want to talk about that or think about that. But yeah, this is about a major ending to something because it needs to be restructured. You're not happy with how it's going. It feels like offerings though at the same time. It feels more so like contingency is like, hey, if I'm going to actually invest in this, then it has to be this way. And you have to do this. I'm only investing in this if you help me in this area or if we are able to go here or if it works out. And it's like it's circumstantial. What's the right word? Contingencies, limitations. I can't think of the word. There's a certain word I really want to use there and it's just not coming to my head right now. Tower in reverse. Look at all these damn majors. Oh my gosh. Aries, Mars, Scorpio energy. You got Scorpio again with the death card. Wow. Okay. This is self-imposed tower. When I have a tower card in reverse, this is a long time coming. This is something that you just finally pulled the trigger on. You're like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm ready for this change now. I'm ready to end this cycle. I'm ready to, it's kind of like I'm ready to be a new version of myself and I'm not taking nobody's ish anymore. Because I want this for myself. It's going to help me feel stable, feel safe, feel secure. If a lot of you, this feels like in regards to your finances. Tell me more for Aquarius. The moon. Oh my, and the emperor. Jeez Louise. Bottom of the deck is the Six of Cups. Okay, so the last four cards are all reversed. I feel like this is what we're getting rid of. This is what we knew a long time coming had to change. Okay, so the moon in reverse is the clarity. Emperor in reverse is the control. And the oh, I see. So that's why we got this energy of like, if I do this, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. You see very clearly that what needs to be released is this need to control how you work with other people. The contingencies. I was like, why does it feel like this? Like there's this need to control things, like have them done a certain way to kind of fit your comfort zone with a certain person. And you realize that's part of your shadow. It's part of your shadow. You feel in your power then with the Magician card, right? The shadow is the ego. And wanting to control things is just a need for safety. It's like, when I'm in control, I feel safe and I feel secure because I know how things are going to play out. And if I allow you the freedom to do something with something that's really important to me, how do I know you're not going to mess it up? And how do I know it's not going to fail? Because then if it fails, I'm going to blame you and I'm going to be mad at you. It's having faith and trust that you two can work as a team together and really clearly, transparently communicate with one another the expectations and the plan and the path that you want to execute. So this is learning how to have that dance with another person, whether it be in business or whether it be in love, whether it just be in family relationships or just overall, all of those things. Learning how to work with others in a way that doesn't project your shadow, your ego onto them, and allows everybody to be in their power, to feel that they have control and freedom and creativity and that freedom of expression as well. So let's get into it. Let's get into some clarifiers. But this is what you're changing. Like, this is what you realize has to change. And you're choosing to. I'm not saying you're still sitting in this. This is what you're pushing yourself outside your comfort zone to change, which is really nice. Really, really nice. I want to use retrospective tarot for you, actually. Use a few other tarot decks for you today. Okay. Let's see what's going on. For Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius? Why is the Six of Cups here for... Okay, they said no. So let's start with... let's start with the Wheel of Fortune, yeah. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here for Aquarius? I start to show my real self. Okay. Six of Swords. I love that. It's just moving away from this overly critical, like overthinking energy. Six of Swords is just moving to peace. It's moving to calmer waters. It's allowing yourself to flow. To flow. So let's look at Death. Why is Death here? Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. You're ending the lack of stability. You're like, okay, I'm fed up. This isn't stable. This isn't secure. This needs to change. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. I want stability. And if you mess with my stability, we're going to have a problem. But that's that shadow. That's the shadow part, right? And that's where the Six of Cups is in reverse. That's why the imbalance between your relationships was happening. Because it wasn't stable. It wasn't secure. Because there was this overall controlling energy. So let's look at the Tower in reverse. Because now we're getting into what your shadow is, right? So for those of you who are still trying to figure out why things... Because remember, this is timeless. So you could already be going through this healing process, or it could be something that's about to happen for you. So let's go through this sudden realization of, oh, this is why things aren't stable. The World in reverse. Faith in reverse, which is the Hierophant. Come here, read little cards. The Moon and the Ten of Cups in reverse. Okay. There's a fear of being let down and not actually achieving success and happiness for yourself. And that's a distorted perspective. It's an illusion, but it's also something that is created from the ego, which rules our fears, our limiting beliefs, our scarcity mindset, right? And that's something that a lot of the collective is going through, because Chiron was sitting in Aries for such a long time, and Aries is the sign of self. Chiron's the wounded healer. And so Chiron's going to bring up everything that we have not addressed. And over the last year and a half, Chiron's been doing this transit of just, hey, I'm gonna dig up a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And now that our nodes, our north and our south node, which is the north node, the future, the south node, which is karmic patterns and the past, right? They're about to switch from air and fire to water and earth. So whatever we started in May 2018, March 2018, May 2019, around that time, out of passion, out of creativity, out of fun, because it was just exciting. Now we're learning, like, okay, well, I really need to stabilize this earth and water, right? Earth, stable, water, letting it grow, letting it flourish into something. It's something that needs patience, that needs care, that needs nurturing. And you're realizing, like, okay, I need to give this to myself. I need to give this to my relationships. The old way of doing things, because the Hierophant rules the contracts, was distorted. It was distorted. It was impulsive. It was rooted in my shadow, and it was cyclic. It was karmic, right? It was something that I had perpetuated out of a fear of truly being successful or truly being happy. And I was projecting that into the situations in my life, whether it be work, whether it be family, relationships, all that. This is a theme throughout the zodiac signs right now, because when we switch nodes, the collective goes through a massive shift. So we're all raising our state of consciousness, but we're all moving towards stability. We're breaking down foundations that don't serve us, and we're getting rid of the past, the shadow of the past, the fears of the past, the lack of stability of the past. But that means that we need to be willing to change with the changes that are occurring. We need to flow with change, because change is inevitable and change is constant. And if we resist it, you're gonna get washed away. Let's look at the moon. The star. Look at all these majors. The 5 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. Yeah, it's divine time to address this inner conflict, this inner turmoil, the burdens. It's almost like limitations you've placed on yourself. When I was going through this lesson, I literally described it to my better half of like realizing I had wrapped myself in fear's chains. Like I had wrapped myself in such fear that it was paralyzing, that I went from being, I think the words I literally said was, I want to feel like a woman again. I felt like my old child self. Like I was basically reliving my childhood emotionally. Like I was sitting in my trauma body from where my bottom was. I was sitting in my ego, because the ego's developed around the time, fully developed by the time you're 7, right? So when you're a child. And I was explaining to him that I did not want to sit in that body anymore. So if you're feeling that right now, emotionally, mentally, things are burdensome, things are difficult, it's divine time for you to see that. And that's what you're going to get clarity on. Like, this isn't actually my authentic self. I'm sitting in my trauma body. I'm sitting in my bottom. I'm sitting in a place that is rooted in my past, and I'm dubbing it over in my present moment, because it's time for me to integrate and release that this is not right now. I'm not there anymore. I'm not there anymore. Not in that space. Not in that energy. I'm not that person. I'm not in those relationships. I'm safe here. I can move forward, and I choose to move forward. And it's talking to that version of yourself at whatever point in your life that was to heal that, right? And that, you know, I think therapy is very healthy. Like, I think spirituality and therapy go hand in hand. I really do. Let's look at the Emperor. Because sometimes those kinds of things are difficult to work through on your own, and it's okay to ask for help. Let's look at the Emperor. I'm losing my voice, guys. I'm only going to take the ones that were peeking out on top. Give me 2 seconds. My big old thing of water. Okay, so we have Temperance. We're healing this distorted masculine energy, the fear of success, the fear of being stable, the fear of having this energy of being the provider, being reliable, not only to yourself, but to the people around you, being able to rely on other people, right? Going after the things you're passionate about, which is that new beginning, because you know that this calls for letting go of an old version of yourself, breaking down a lot of foundations, not only literal foundations in the material world, but mental foundations, emotional foundations, the way that we perceived and acted on things. Let's look at the 3 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Then we have the Empress. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the 3 of... This is an assistant. I just heard that. It's an assistant. I was about to say it's your feminine, but I just heard it's an assistant. So a person in your reality is probably triggering all this for you, whether it be a relationship or an authority figure or a family member, helping you work through the scarcity mindset and really surrender to this new path that you're supposed to be walking. And they're a very nurturing, loving energy. So if you've painted them in your mind as someone, ooh, they're going to hurt me, they're going to betray me, or made them look like a villain in your headspace, they're here to actually support you and work with you through this. They're not going to abandon you. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to leave you in the dust. None of that. It's time to surrender and choose to walk this path with them, because they have your highest good in mind. They really do. Yeah. Tower in reverse. They're here to help you through this Tower moment. Okay? Because you have the Tower in reverse twice now. Let's look at the 6 of Cups. Why is the 6 of Cups here? Knight of Cups. Beautiful. Yeah. This person's coming in to support you emotionally, to help you work through the past and basically reframe what the past was for you on an emotional level, to make you see that it's safe for you to be vulnerable. It's safe for you to give parts of yourself from an emotional, heartfelt space, right? The Page of Wands is the soul for me as a reader. It's the inner child. They're helping you move more into an authentic, healthy inner child versus one that is rooted in the fear, the limiting beliefs, the distortion, right? Because this is the wounded child. To me, this is someone who's integrated a lot of those wounds, a lot of that trauma, and is working from creativity and joy and happiness and ready to manifest. They're the mini manifester, right? It's wand energy, it's fire energy, it's passion. They're ready to pursue that new path because they want to create something of themselves and of their reality. And then the High Priestess. Yeah, very nice. The High Priestess is it's kind of like the Empress on steroids for me as a reader. It's also someone who's just knowing their divine path, and it's kind of like trusting in the unknown, especially with the Chariot after it. The Chariot is moving into success. It's moving into recognition. It's moving onto your path. It's trusting in the unknown, trusting in your personal power. This is very, very nice. I'm very excited for you. Very excited. If you want a reading to check out your personal situation or just to get advice on your own path, or if you just have questions, go ahead and book it down below through my website. I do have 20% off now through December 5th. Check out Patreon for monthly readings, energy shift readings, moon cycle readings, and weekly Patreon only videos and other content. I love you. I wish you the best. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. It helps the channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. Because, you know, algorithms and stuff, like buttons are like the really cool thing to help a girl out. But I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.